Welcome back to INTERPHEX TV. I am Bob Fryer. We are joined by Jennifer Riter from Kindeva Drug Delivery.
Correct.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good to have you here.
Thank you.
You are a familiar face because you spoke last year in
Correct.
one of the learning labs, and we appreciate you coming in fresh off the heels of a keynote speech this year. So talk to me about what it was that you talked about, and then we'll talk about all the other stuff.
Okay, so we were talking about essential drug delivery outputs, which is actually the new EPR, or the new essential performance requirement.
The FDA getting involved.
The FDA,
Okay.
So it's a new FDA guidance that came out to really clarify what you need to do around performance of a combination product.
Okay, I'm kind of following what that means, but it's when you're delivering a drug
Yes.
to a patient at this point, or
To a patient.
To a patient. So
Right.
who would this affect? What companies would this affect?
So this would affect the manufacturers of the combination product. The ones that are manufacturing the drugs have a delivery system to deliver that drug to the patient. So it's actually the pharmaceutical and biotech industry that this would affect, this new guidance, in terms of how they look at essential drug delivery outputs. So what we want to do is clarify what used to be essential performance requirements. They put more of a definition to what does that mean, and they've further defined it as essential drug delivery outputs.
Meaning the delivery in the sense of like a syringe, in the sense of a pill, in the sense of however you deliver a drug to a patient. Is it more
Right.
like they want it standardized so that we know how it's being
What the
delivered? What the expectation
is exactly.
And what sort of an output are we talking about?
So you're looking at things, so it could be across a pre-filled syringe system, it could be across an auto-injector in the injectable space, it could be a meter dose inhaler, it could be a nasal product from that end. So it could be any of those types of delivery system forms, and how that device delivers that product to the
Okay.
patient, you have to evaluate and make sure it performs as it should perform. So meaning that the patient gets the dose to the exact place where it needs to get the dose.
How do you analyze that? I mean, how do you quantify it? How do you
Sure.
monitor to make sure that it's happening?
Right, so the first part is defining what those are, what you need to do a risk-based approach of how you need to define what essential drug delivery output is,
Okay.
which is usually you're doing in your device design and your combination product development and device design in parallel as a combination product. So what we're trying to do when we look at essential drug delivery outputs is say, okay, we need the product to be delivered to the patient subcutaneously,
Okay.
and you need to have 5 milligrams delivered to the patient.
Okay.
Right? So how well that device, whether it's a pre-filled syringe, actually delivers that to the patient is what you're looking for, is the performance of that. So some of the aspects of that might be what they call the force it takes to move that plunger, the force it takes to continue to run it down the barrel of the syringe.
Okay.
For an auto injector, it could be delivered dose. How much of that drug actually gets delivered to the patient in a period of time from that perspective. So it's looking at the draft guidance is further clarifying what the performance and essential drug delivery outputs are for that particular type of delivery system. They want to have a true clarification.
Really amazing all that goes into it. Let's slide off of that a little bit and talk about the fact that you were here last year.
Yes.
And it was the first year of the Learning Lab and all of
Yes.
the sessions going on here, which is an amazing thing that INTERPHEX has gotten into, because it used to be just the show floor, and now it's all the education that
Yes.
is going on here. What made you decide that, I'm assuming they approached you, but what made you decide to come back and speak again this year?
Sure. So last year was the first inaugural year that INTERPHEX did it, and they did a great job of actually pulling it together, putting the scientific content together that they were looking at, and was really informative. Plus the setup of it, being outside, people being able to focus and listen to what the speakers are saying.
Yeah.
The interactiveness, being able to ask the right questions, especially for key topics, is really critical. So knowing the type of learning lab they did last year and how they set it up and what they put together, I was very interested when they asked me again, because I I thought it was a great concept to bring to INTERPHEX to not only do what we need to do to see everybody at the exhibition, but also learn and have that technical learning while we're here.
If you don't mind my saying, it's quite an honor, because I know there are people that want to speak here. The fact that they approached you not once but twice, when there's only been 2 opportunities so far, they've come back to you. Talk to me a little bit, because I know Kindeva has a presence here on the show floor, a footprint here. So if I go to the Kindeva booth, what is it that I'm going to be faced with?
Right, so earlier in 2024, Kindeva set up a standalone contract testing organization within Kindeva Drug Delivery. So what we're showcasing at INTERPHEX today at our booth here is actually that analytical testing capabilities that we have to perform for our customers. So things, the performance testing such as EDDOs and EPRs, which they were formerly known as, is something that we can do for our clients and help them navigate the regulatory expectations that go along with that from that perspective. So if you came to the booth, you would actually see how we're highlighting those analytical capabilities, from performance testing to extractables and leachables to container closure integrity in all aspects of delivery systems, whether it's an injectable, whether it's a nasal form, or it's an inhalation product. So you could see how we span across.
I see, and if my memory serves me, there's like a 32,000 square foot facility that Kindeva set up. That's part of it, right? So are we saying this first year of this has been successful, I'm assuming?
Very successful,
Very successful.
Yeah, so Kindeva decided to do the standalone contract analytical services out of our Woodbury, Minnesota facility. Brand new laboratory, beautiful space. And being able to expand our reach and our capabilities in there across all platforms and help customers navigate throughout development of what they need to do at each phase of development to bring their product to market is really our goal.
Okay, I'm not going to keep you much longer, but I do want to ask you a little bit about INTERPHEX.
Yes.
And clearly you're supportive. You've been here now at least the last 2 years. I'm not sure how long before that.
Many times
Many times.
Yep.
Talk to me a little bit about some of the innovations that you might have seen over the years, maybe even how INTERPHEX has changed itself, to suit the growing needs and the advancements within the pharmaceutical community.
Yep. So when you look at what they've expanded to, I mean, still a lot of processing, a lot of equipment sort of thing, which is where I believe it started from that end, but they've actually expanded into the CDMO space, into the contract testing space, and actually having all of these different partners in one space has allowed us to better collaborate and better work across the different areas of INTERPHEX. And plus, we get to I would say interact with our instrument suppliers. So pretty much the analytical, the technical aspects of what we do, and getting to meet with them all in one place is phenomenal. So between taking what our job is here to do as a CDMO organization and contract laboratory, be able to work across partners in this space, whether it's the equipment that we use in fill finish or it's the instrumentation we use in the laboratory, is really phenomenal. You could get that all in one place here at INTERPHEX.
You find yourself running into a lot of the same people from last year?
Yes, and years before.
That's
so
nice.
Yes. Yeah. It's actually like a reunion here every year, which is great.
Always fun, and I'm assuming we're going to see you again next year.
Yes.
Jennifer Riter, so great to talk to you again.
Thank you. Thank you
so
for
much.
having me.
Thank you,
Appreciate
and enjoy
it.
the rest of your time
Thank
here
you.
at INTERPHEX.
Thank you very much.
And again, for INTERPHEX TV, I'm Bob Fryer.